Nobody tells you when things start changing, when you stop feeling young and start feeling time pass, when life starts feeling heavier. No big moment, no warning. Just waking up one day, realizing things don't feel as light as they used to. One day you think you'll wake up and finally know what you're doing, that things will feel lighter, that you'll feel sure about your life. Like someday the noise fades and everything finally makes sense. But most people are figuring it out as they go. Your friends, your family, the person online pretending they have it together while secretly falling apart. Everybody's pretending a little, trying to look more certain than they feel. I used to think adulthood meant becoming stable. Now I think it just means learning how to live with uncertainty without letting it break you. Learning how to keep going while parts of you are still lost. You wake up, you make tea, you try, you tell yourself tomorrow will feel different. And somehow, trying quietly becomes your entire life. The strange part is, nobody notices when you're changing. There's no movie montage, no dramatic transformation scene, just tiny, invisible moments. Somewhere along the way, your younger self slowly disappears. And maybe that sounds sad. I think becoming someone happens very slowly. So maybe this isn't failure. Maybe this is just what growing up looks like: messy, quiet, ordinary. But most mornings feel less like destiny and more like trying to make it through the day without overthinking everything. Nobody talks about this part, the waiting room feeling. Like your real life is about to begin while secretly wondering if this is already it. At some point, someone hands you an invisible checklist. Know yourself in your teens. Build something in your 20s. Have it all figured out by 30. Reinvent yourself in your 40s. Finally, understand life in your 50s. As if life is a race. As if there's a finish line somewhere. And somehow, everybody else looks ahead of you. Everyone moving with purpose. Sometimes I think survival is just learning how to make ordinary things feel yours again. The strange thing about nostalgia is that it never arrives dramatically, it sneaks in. Tiny moments that feel familiar for reasons you can't explain. Maybe clarity doesn't arrive all at once. Maybe it takes time. Maybe it grows in stages. Sometimes it's just a man hanging outside your 22nd floor apartment window at 9 a.m. cleaning glass, reminding you the world keeps moving. And somehow that feels important. You're sitting in your balcony, quietly sipping tea, questioning your entire life. Life has incredible timing. You can be having a full existential crisis while someone outside your window is just trying to clean glass. And somehow that feels important. Like both of you are just people trying to get through another morning. Maybe that's all adulthood really is. Millions of people waking up tired, carrying invisible things, and continuing anyway. Everybody is carrying something. Everybody trying to make peace with time. Trying to feel okay, even for a few minutes. Maybe we're all closer to each other than we think. not through success, not through certainty, but through exhaustion, through routine, through these strange, quiet mornings where nobody really knows what they're doing, but everybody keeps moving anyway. Maybe survival doesn't need to look heroic. Maybe it's just making small things feel deliberate. Maybe it's just, staring at your window, looking at a man cleaning glass, and just being in this moment. No stress, no pain, no grief, just being, observing, watching, looking at a man hanging for his dear life while cleaning windows. Take that in, people. It's a high rise. He's just dangling, just cleaning. My goodness. And there, Spider-Man in action, or Glass Man. Maybe it's waking up early enough to carry your plants one by one. Where to, you might ask? Where am I carrying them? I just saw a man dangling through the window, and here I am, picking up my plant one by one into the bathtub. Maybe life is just about learning how to care for things. Maybe it's just being in the moment, quietly, naturally. Just letting water fall over your plants like summer rain. Watching dust wash from the leaves. Watching something quietly come back to life. You start noticing how plants respond to attention. How some of them lean desperately towards light, even after being ignored for days. How some survive anyway, and somehow that feels strangely human. There's something calming about touching plant life in the morning, something grounding about it. The cold leaves, the smell of wet soil. No notification, no performance, no pretending to have your life together. Just your hands, plants, water, and sunlight. The sound of water hitting green life in a quiet apartment. And for a few minutes, the world stops asking anything from you. No deadlines, no expectations, no invisible checklist telling you who you should already be by now. Just living things, trying to stay alive near a window. And somehow, maybe that's enough. Maybe healing starts here, in tiny acts nobody sees, in learning how to care for something gently, while slowly learning how to care for yourself the same way. Because plants don't rush, they don't panic when growth takes time. They just keep reaching towards light, quietly, every single day. I think that's what nobody prepares you for. How much life, how much of life happens in private? Not the big moments people post online, not weddings, not promotion, not life changing announcements with perfect lighting and inspirational captions. Real life is quieter than that. It's standing barefoot in your bathroom in the morning, holding a dripping plant over a bathtub while half awake. Sunlight spills across the tiles. Or maybe you're hoping for the sun to shine. It's about listening to, hearing to, no sound at all. While your entire universe shrinks down to water, leaves, steam, and breath. And somehow those moments feel more real than almost anything else. Maybe because nobody's watching, or maybe there's only you guys watching. There's no audience in moments like this. That's why I thought, why not create an audience? There's no performance, there's no character to maintain. You stop speaking in a polished version of yourself. Well, I'm trying to polish my version. And I'm starting to narrate my life like it's building towards something dramatic. And for a second, you just exist. I think people spend most of their lives waiting for clarity to arrive like lightning. One huge realization, one movie scene, one perfect conversation that finally explains everything, but clarity is rarely dramatic. Most of the time, it arrives disguised as ordinary mornings. You notice it quietly while wiping water off leaves, while making tea, while opening blinds. Tiny moments where your nervous system finally unclenches for a second. And you realize how exhausted you've actually been. Maybe adulthood is just accumulating invisible weight. Bills, expectations, deadlines, memories, versions of yourself you haven't become yet, versions of yourself you already miss. And the strange thing is, nobody can really see it happening. You could be carrying the heaviest season of your life and still look completely normal because everyone you pass is carrying something invisible. The guy cleaning windows outside your building, the person sitting alone in traffic. Everybody's fighting thoughts nobody else can hear and still continuing. Just ordinary survival. The kind nobody applauds, the kind that happens quietly in apartments all over the city every morning. Maybe real strength looks softer. Maybe it's getting out of bed when your mind feels heavy. Maybe it's just growing quietly at your own pace. Quietly. Maybe the goal was simply this: to stay awake long enough to notice when life becomes beautiful, few seconds at a time. Maybe figuring it out was never the goal. Maybe it was just in the being.